Chelsea seem to get a new manager every single season, sometimes even multiple in each season. But they have finally landed on Enzo Maresca for the 24-25 season. Despite Poch picking up some good form towards the end of last season and ended up actually finishing 6th, ahead of teams such as Newcastle and Man United, they still decided to part ways with him. And many people think it's because of a disagreement over the selling of Conor Gallagher, but that doesn't matter. Today, we are starting our brand new series of the Chelsea career mode where we take over as Enzo Maresca and see how good can we make Chelsea within a few seasons. This is episode 1, so make sure to subscribe, hit like, turn on notifications and join the journey of making Chelsea great. We arranged a friendly within the squad to see who could impress us early doors and potentially even become the captain of the club. But there were some good performances and some we wanted to see some more of, so we also arranged some individual training. As you can see, Maresca attended this just to see who was about it, and we actually met with Cole Palmer to let him know, you are our star man. You are the man that we have our hopes on, and you will get a nice bonus at the end of the season if you achieve what we think you can. He was happy with it. Maresca's happy with it. It's a great little partnership we're already forming. The starting squad isn't actually too bad, but we all know how many players they've bought in over the last couple of years and how many hundreds of millions they've been spending. So it may actually be a case of letting go of some people just to free up some room. But Maresca has come out and said he's going to give the squad the pre-season and then work out who deserves to stay and who needs to leave. So the transfers are going to have to wait until we've seen some performances. There were some good individual defensive performances. As you can see, Cucurella getting stuck in, not with just one tackle though, with 2 inside the same play, and Thiago Silva also doing the same, but we couldn't stop conceding goals. The team defensively was so poor. As you can see, in every game we were just leaking goal after goal, and finishing like this just didn't help us at all. But Cole Palmer was the brightest spark of them all. Look at that for a finish, but it wasn't just the finish, he had the skills as well. That poor pre-season has showed us we need a couple positions. I think one of them's a keeper, and the other one is a striker. We failed to score so many chances. A striker will save that, and a goalkeeper will hopefully help us stop conceding so many. Despite his lack of aura, Cole Palmer was actually very impressive in pre-season, and the same can be said with Nkunku, but I think we have discovered he is going to have to play the 10 for us and not the striker. The board have given us £146 million to spend, which is a lot, but to make it more realistic, because how much Chelsea have spent in the past few seasons and FFP being a thing, we're going to limit it to £50 million plus any money we make off sales. So to start with, we have £50 million to be spending, but we may be able to free up some budget with Enzo Fernandez. He is worth 40 million and he was so poor in pre-season, so I think he's one that may just have to be leaving straight away. And the first sale has taken place. It's Chalobah going to Tottenham for around £13 million, so that means we now have £63 million to be spending. The first sale of the window. Even with that sale though, we're still yet to bring anyone in, and we've got to the first game of the season. We will be making signings, but not quite. Yeah, we've got the first game to deal with first. It's a last opportunity for a few players like Jackson, Fernandez, Petrovic to prove whether they deserve to stay. And as you can see on the tactics, we've got gegenpressing, press after possession loss, fast build up and direct pass. And we're going to give this a go. But there's nothing else left to do but get into the first game and hopefully pick up 3 points against a tough Liverpool side. 3 points would be absolutely perfect to start with. The pressing style has not worked as they've managed to get behind, but it's a good challenge from Thiago Silva. He's lost it. Luckily, Salah is offside. James has lost out there and he's trying to win that back, and he has just committed an atrocity of a challenge. James has just been booked for this challenge. I can't really complain. If there's, he didn't barely touch him. Get up. The pressing style is seeming to leave us a bit open at the back. It may have to be something that we look to change in the future. Cucurella is going for a big diag. It's actually going to work all the way to Palmer, who's putting in a first-time ball. I mean, that's audacious. But we've won a penalty. It's the typical EA handball, just glitch basically. It's not really come from anything other than a hopeless cross. And Arnold has somehow handled that ball. Penalty. Mr. Cole Palmer for the first goal of the calendar season. Can he make it 1-0 and get his first? He can indeed. 1-0 up. Cole Palmer getting the goal. He was the bright spark in pre-season, and he's continued to be that bright spark going into the first league game. We're 1-0 up against Liverpool. Once again, the pressing has left us open, and Gravenberch gets a shot off. It's a good save from Petrovic. Pressing has left us open once again. Darwin Núñez, another big save from Petrovic. Maybe he shouldn't be replaced quite yet. Surely he's got the legs on Gravenberch. He does, in the box. Oh my God, horrendous shooting like that is exactly what we had to deal with in pre-season. And that is going to be Sterling's last involvement. Him and Reece James are coming off. James because of the yellow. Sterling's just not getting involved. Mudryk and Gusto on. Hopefully that can help us see out this win. Salah against Cucurella. It's the battle of ages. Oh no. And they've scored. Salah has absolutely spun Cucurella. Played it across. Diaz. And we find ourselves 1-1 in the game. I can't say it isn't deserved. They have been all over us. But it's a real shame to see. It might be time for some more subs. We've not been left with much on the bench, so the only sub we're making is Palmer off, Madueke on. A bit of fresh legs on both wings now with Mudryk and Madueke. Hopefully they can bag us a winner. And another corner. We're in stoppage time now, and it's still all Liverpool. Van Dijk. Oh my God. From the corner. And we find ourselves 2-1 down in the 92nd minute. Virgil van Dijk, it's been all pressure, but all we had to do was survive one more corner and we would have held on for a point, which would have been massive after the struggle of pre-season. But we weren't able to, and that is realistically going to seal the game. That is game, a 2-1 loss. Devastating. We went 1-0 up. It might have been a bit undeserved. It don't matter. We were 1-0 up until the 93rd minute. Fofana's distraught. Look at all the players. At least it shows how much it means to them. Van Dijk's celebrating. We'll get him back later in the season. Cucurella, don't handshake him, mate. That's not what you want to be seeing. But the first game is done, and it's shown us that we might need some more signings if we want to be real competition for Champions League spots, Europa League, all of that. As you can see, we've managed to loan out 3 youngsters and sell Trevor Chalobah for 13 million. There's a lot more youngsters on the way out on loan to help them develop. But I think it's time we make our first signing of the window. We have a goalkeeper and DM sorted, but we're going to give Petrovic another chance. So we're not quite going to pull the trigger on Diogo Costa yet. And Locatelli will be coming in if we manage to sell Enzo Fernandez or Conor Gallagher. But until that happens, we don't need an extra midfielder. But the strikers is where I'm interested. I think I'm going with Joshua Zirkzee. Look at this. 22 years old, 79 rated, but he's 6'4". He's a proper striker. 86 jump in, 83 composure. I like the look of him a lot. And he's going to set us back a lot of our budget. Remember, we've got 63 million at the minute. So I feel like a striker has got to be our key signing. Jackson just didn't get involved in any of pre-season in terms of on the pitch. He just wasn't doing anything. And also in that first game, he barely touched the ball. So a striker could be crucial. I think Zirkzee might just be that man. And we got Zirkzee through the door. We only got him for £20 million. So we still have £43 million to be spending. But he was involved in a trade for Conor Gallagher. So we gave them Gallagher and 20 mil. But I like Zirkzee a lot. Going with this team for the second game. Zirkzee up front. Petrovic, you need to impress this game, pal. Otherwise, you may be out the door come the end of August. Zirkzee has got us underway. Excited to see what this man can do. Obviously, the pressing was very hit or miss against Liverpool, but West Ham are a bit of a weaker side. So it's a good time to test whether it's any better. Time to give that pressing a go. Oh my God, Patrick Schick has just burned our entire defence. And he's through on goal. Can Petrovic save us? He can't. We're 1-0 down because Patrick Schick, who they've just signed clearly, has managed to triple tap from his own half and skin every single one of our defenders and Santiago Silva. But Colwill, Cucurella, James, they should not be getting skinned like that. Maybe it is the pressing game style of gegenpressing that is causing us to be open way too much. At half-time, we may change it to tiki-taka and give it a different approach. They're in the box again. Need to get the blocks off. Another save from Petrovic. It's not ideal how much he's getting called into action in these first 2 games. This is the formation that we've cooked up. Sterling's going up front in a 4-2-2 formation. And more importantly, we've changed the tactics to tiki-taka. Hopefully, with all the technical players, especially in the front 4 that we've got, we can keep that ball a lot more and rely on the technical ability rather than the pressing as a team. Let's give it a go, though. Palmer's made a great run in behind. Here we go. He's going to need some support, though. Surely he can't do this all by himself. He's done one. He's now played a ball over to Zirkzee. Oh my God, that's a big chance there. That shows why Zirkzee's in the team. He makes those runs in behind, and it's dangerous. And we're now 2 games in, and we've lost both. It's really, really poor massive signings are going to be needed. I need your suggestions down below, because look at that, Mudryk, look how upset they all are. We need to play much better than this. I like the game a lot more after we went to tiki-taka, so maybe it's worth sticking to that. But make sure to let me know down below, who should we be signing for next episode, and what formation and tactics should we set up in, because that is where we're going to leave it for this episode. Make sure to turn on notifications so you don't miss episode 2. But give me those suggestions down below, and until next time, thanks for watching, and goodbye.